Good evening, gladiators in suits. Happy rainy Wednesday. I hope you're all staying dry. I'm a bit early today because I need to sleep also early tonight. Ooh, by the way, wait. Our TikTok's not working well. There you go. There you go. How's everyone doing? Okay, we're gonna wait for folks to settle down. While that's happening, can I talk about two things that I think went viral today, or at least for what I think is going to be viral for the rest of the week? Have you guys seen the Pagcor logo? Can I get the letter P if you have seen that? What do you think of it? People have been asking me, John, what do you think of the Pagcor logo? Is it worth 3 million pesos as indicated in the public document for the payment for it? I mean, it's a logo. Do I think it's 3 million pesos worth? I don't think so, obviously. I think there are far more expensive things that you can buy with 3 million pesos. I don't even think that a decent agency in the Philippines should be paid 3 million pesos for it. Uh, yes. So Anna Flor is asking, is it really 3 million? That's what's stated in the quotation. I'm not sure if that's really is what's paid. Okay. Yes. So by the way, what's going to be the topic for tonight? The topic for tonight is about relationships at work. And it's going to be about how close should you be with your boss and your colleagues? Should you keep a professional distance? Is it okay that after a few years or a few months, should you be close to the point that you can go out on a Friday night? Sometimes close to a point that you can borrow money. I've seen that happen in some companies. Sometimes close to the point that you can be invited as a ninong or ninang in a wedding or in the christening of the kid or the baby, for example. That's going to be our discussion for today. Why are we choosing this topic? Because I think that your success is dependent on how your relationships are built with the people, including people who are going to decide your promotions. And that's going to be your boss. So we're going to talk about what is the right amount of balance. What is the equilibrium that you can keep in order to have that working relationship such that you're open to ask questions, you can have some laugh as much as you can, but there's also a certain professional line that you draw, right? Not too close for comfort and not too much intimacy that boundaries are going to be stepped on, for example. We're going to talk about that as well. Okay. Dan on Facebook is saying regarding the Pagcor logo, it was like an elementary logo. You know what I think of that logo? It either looks like a crab or a shrimp or a devil. Can I get an exclamation mark if you guys agree? It looks like one. Is it an okay logo? It's not bad. I don't think it's ugly. I just don't think it's worth 3 million pesos. I think I saw someone state, I'm not sure where did I read this. Someone was saying you could have at least opened it into a competition among students or among graphic designers. And I think it will make so much buzz. It will even make the campaign for, Pagcor or support or love for people for Pagcor be better because you're putting it on in public eye and then you make people choose. That I think will even make a buzz. Red Lozada, it looks like the devil. I agree, no? It looks like a devil. It has two horns, eh? That's what it looked like. Not memorable at all, says Joms on TikTok. 500,000 pesos should have been acceptable, says Senorito. I I've done marketing for more than a decade in my life, and I have worked with a lot of agencies. A logo like that can easily be 100,000 pesos. You can go as low as 20,000 pesos, I think. Well, 100 or 200,000 for the logo alone, I think is doable, especially when you're, and I don't think you should, first and foremost, if you want to save money, especially if you're from the government, I don't think that you should be contracting a logo alone. A more efficient way is to contract a designer for a series of projects so you can keep the costs low. Why? When you usually give a bigger project to an organization or to an agency, you can maximize more projects from them, but you can haggle for a lower rate. Can I get an exclamation mark if you guys agree? Yes, which is just so sad. I'm. I don't want to talk about this. Okay, not now. Because I've had instances where I have experienced certain amounts for my motivational talk that was being offered at a very high rate. And this was from a government agency, and we declined it. I declined it, and I said to my team, I don't think we're worth this amount. Even a celebrity speaker like, I don't know, Simon Sinek or uh, Adam Grant is not worth this amount. So we declined that amount. And unfortunately, that happens also for government agencies. I have been a witness to certain amounts that I think are inappropriate amounts for certain services. Okay. Uh, Echo Golf Mike says, sana nagpa-contest na lang sila ng logo making. Yung premyo nakatulong pa. I agree. We've talked about that as well. Okay. I think we need to start now, checking people's energy because you guys are in full swing now. Could you please give us a like or a heart if you guys are ready to talk about our topic for tonight? Our topic for tonight are about managing relationships. You can ask questions about how should I be as close with my boss or with my colleagues, with HR, for example. And of course, we're not going to limit our questions about relationships. You can also ask questions that are relating to your career. So it could be about, let's say, quitting your job, job hunting, job interviews, for example. We're going to entertain those questions as well. But as much as you can, let's stick to the topic. Okay. In the middle of this talk, we're also going to give away some prizes to our participants. As you may know, we give away free tickets to our upcoming workshop, which is happening on July 28th and 29th. If you guys are watching this on Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube, you're seeing that now on my right side of the screen. We are displaying all the schedules of our workshops. Each workshop is 3 hours. We got workshops on leadership, social media marketing, boosting your confidence and public speaking skills, and of course, email etiquette and business writing. So we'll give away 5 free tickets on TikTok because we love folks on TikTok. And we're going to give away 2 tickets per platform on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. What's the catch? The only requirement we ask from our participants, thank you, Darren, for the gift, by the way, on TikTok. The only thing that we ask from our participants is that you need to share this live stream on your page. Can I get the letter S if that's cool? I hope that's okay. You need to share this live stream on your page. That's the only way for us to be able to reach out to more folks. Okay. Vincent says, sharing done. Thank you. CM Aquino, by the way, sana ma-invite ka ni Shell. If you mean Shell as in the oil and gas company, we've done a handful of talks for Shell in the past. You know what? You know how I can prove it to you? Shell is one of those companies wherein they require you to undergo a 15-minute seminar on safety before you enter their building. And you guys required me to do that both in your offices in Malaysia, in Kuala Lumpur, and also in Makati. I couldn't forget that, by the way. Weird, but I can understand. And we had to do it. Okay, so thank you for the letter S. Thank you for sharing. Let's ask questions now. So I'm going to be opening the floor for questions from the participants. I'm going to be answering this first question. By the way, I'm going to push myself to the limits, guys. I'm going to be aiming for 20 questions tonight, which means I'll be counting the number of questions that I have. The reason why I want to push for 20 questions is so I can limit the way I answer the questions. Because sometimes when I watch the video again, the rerun of the live stream, sometimes I spend too much time on one question, which isn't a good thing. So I'm going to be aiming for 20 questions tonight. Call me out if you think I'm answering something too long. Okay? So let's do this. Question number 1 from Nikki Angela Cruz on YouTube. And her question is, how can we best deal with a co-manager who comments that you are a favorite or close to the owner, because most of the important projects are assigned to you and has the highest impact on the organization? Well, number one, if your issue is that your co-manager is jealous or envious, I think envious is the better term. If they're envious, I would shrug my shoulders. If I think I'm performing well and that's manifested by the owner assigning me projects that they can trust with, no, that's if someone has an issue with that, that's their problem, not mine. As long as you're doing your job well, you're not harming anyone, you're not disrespecting anyone, all is well, all is cool, right? I don't think you should be bothered by it. If there's anything, Nikki, you can approach this person and say, uh, is there anything that I can offer to help you to be able to get those projects as well? Maybe they need some help on a certain software or on a certain email. The goal is to make it look like that you are an ally, not a competitor of this other person. That's how you build relationships with people in the organization. Okay, that's question number one. Okay, question number two from Edward Lustre on TikTok. How can I move myself away from my colleagues who I am close with so I can impose my authority? Okay, I think this question applies if you happen to be the manager or a senior member of the team. And I understand sometimes in the beginning, you guys were of the same position, but after a few months or years, you start to inch your way up, and now you're a manager, or now you have a higher position, and now people are reporting to you. Should you break your friendships with them? I don't think so. I think you can keep it, but you can slowly change the way you spend time with them. What do I mean? You don't need to hang out with them every lunchtime or every dinner time if you need to go out. You can simply say, team, I would love to go. Anna, I would love to go, but I need to finish this as well. Usually, that constant, that repetitive pattern that you will be unavailable for them already creates that line that you got other things to do without offending them gravely. That's one. Number two, I also think that it has something to do with your choice of words. And I think last Monday, we had this discussion about being able to impose your authority. When you send your emails, your chats, you should start speaking more mature now. That means lesser emojis, lesser smileys, right? Lesser casual talk in your conversations. That usually sets you apart because that means you mean business. The more you talk to someone as if they were still your friends, the more that they will treat you also as their friends. Okay? So choice of words do matter. Okay, that's question number two. Okay? Guys, tell me, by the way, if I'm hurrying because I need to meet my quota of 20 questions. My goal is to be able to answer questions as quick as I can without compromising quality. Okay? Um, I like this question from Vincent Anakan. When do you know that someone deserves closeness or someone deserves to work with them from apart? Vincent, I don't know how to read your question. Can I rephrase your question, Vincent? I think your question is, when do you know that you should be close or not so close with someone? And what are the red flags to call out if you're being too close with someone? Vincent, I think that's your question. Yes? I think you should keep a close relationship with someone if you're going to end up working with them for a long time. And the reason for that is because you want them to understand your personal struggles if ever you have a hard time with a certain project. You also want to be close with them to the point that you can ask help or assistance without hesitation or without the feeling of being judged, because likely in times of challenges, this is the person that you're going to ask help from. Okay? So what do I mean by being close enough? Close enough meaning you, as I mentioned, there's psychological safety. Psychological safety meaning I do not feel judged if I have to challenge you or ask you a question. I know that you will not take it personally. When I challenge you or when I ask you or when I disturb you, you will welcome me because you know that it's what's best for the team. That's psychological safety. Another criterion I think of what do I mean by being close is when you need to, let's say for example, the person does the extra mile helping you even if you did not ask for that help, especially when they are starting to notice that you need help. Can I get an exclamation mark? Do you guys agree? I'll give an example. The person's your seatmate, and they've noticed that you have been staring at your PowerPoint slide or spreadsheet for too long. You did not take lunch. You did not even get out to take a pee or a bathroom break. And they're going to start noticing that there's something wrong. So once in a while, they will call you and say, "Hey, John, did you have lunch? John, galaw-galaw naman. You might want to take a pee, take a bathroom break, take a bio break, for example." That I think is the right amount of closeness that I want to have with a person. If I were to use a Tagalog word, a sense of malasakit, I think is a good criterion for identifying that close with a person. Now, to finish this question, what are the red flags that you are too close? Too close because even when you make a mistake, they easily forgive you when you should have been called out. Too close meaning the person is already applying favoritism and is not treating other people the same way. That I think is a red flag of closeness. Okay? Ooh, okay. Question number 3 from Darren, Evangelista on TikTok. How can I stop being too helpful with my colleagues, even if they were not asking for help? One is have this mindset that maybe what you might have is what we call as the Messiah complex. Can I get a letter M if you guys agree? What is Messiah complex? The Messiah complex is the belief that no one else will be able to get the job done but you. And so you start thinking that this person cannot be trusted with the job. This person needs help. This person needs intervention. And sometimes you have to admit to yourself that maybe the reason why the person is not learning anything new is because they will always think that you are there for them. What do you need to do? You have to let them fall. You have to let them commit a mistake. You have to let them realize that they will not always be saved by you, that they have to do things on their own. Okay? That I think is what you need to focus. Okay? That was question number 3. Okay. I think I need to answer this on TikTok. Oops, sorry. Guys, my my tripod on TikTok is not doing well tonight. Let me just change that. Okay. Let me answer this question from Paul because I can so relate to this. This was my issue when I was younger. So Paul is asking this question, how to deal with a boss who keeps on dumping things on you, yet there is no guidance and the project is still being met. Okay, wait a minute. How can you say that the project is still being met even if there is no guidance? Okay, maybe do I assume it right that that means that you are just so spectacularly good in what you do? Can I just ask that? Okay, wait lang guys ah. Tanjiro just moved my laptop. Can you see Tanjiro by the way? Tanjiro is eating. I'm trying to show the TikTok folks my dog, but he moved my. Okay, there you go. I think we're gonna be fine now. Let me just also make this small because suddenly my topic career got bigger. Okay. Okay. Let me answer Paul's question. One, is it good that you have a hands-off manager all the time? Some point in your career, that's fine because that means your manager trusts you. It means that there's less supervision involved. It also means that they think that you can do things on your own. Is it good that your manager is hands off the entire time? Not at all. Because there will be moments that you might make certain mistakes that the company will regret. This might be $1 million mistakes. And so the manager needs to be there all the time. What I would recommend, Paul, is to do a one on one conversation with your boss and tell your manager, for example, boss, I appreciate that you're letting me do things on my own. And that is evidenced by the fact that the project is doing well. But, boss, sometimes I also need your support. Is it okay? And here's where I think it will, here's my tip. Structure a routine that you can meet up with your boss at a certain time of the week. So what I would negotiate is, boss, is it okay with you? And I understand that I don't want to disturb you the entire time. Can I schedule with you in an every Monday morning huddle or an every Friday afternoon huddle in which I want to align with you all the things that have happened with this project and I want to ask questions afterwards. Is that okay with you? This way, I don't need to bug you the entire time, but I'm going to collect all those concerns, all those questions, and it will only take around 15 to 30 minutes. Is that okay with you? Of course, boss, if there's an emergency or something urgent, I'm really going to call your attention. But is it okay with you? Can we schedule an every Monday morning or every Thursday afternoon, for example? Okay? Paul, I hope I was able to answer your question. Okay, question number six. This is on, sorry, question number five. This is a question on TikTok again. Should I be guilty for going home too late? Sorry, going home too early. First and foremost, what's the definition of early? If you mean early, is that you were able to fulfill the number of hours that your company requires you, I think that's fine. Especially if your manager is not asking anything else from you. I'm gonna challenge that question, however. What's my question? What's my challenge? I am a believer that you should not be counting your productivity based on the number of hours. Can I get a letter H if you guys agree? I don't think you should be counting your productivity based on the number of hours. I think you should be counting your productivity based on the output that you have yielded. Granted, it's easier said than done because I know that there are still a lot of organizations out there that use a Bundy clock and that really count your number of hours. But it's 2023. I don't think you should be guilty for going home 15 minutes after 5 o'clock p.m. if you were already able to accomplish everything. What does this mean? It means that you are efficient. It means that you work fast. Why should you feel bad for being one of the best employees because you were able to finish so many things at the shortest amount of time? What I think you should fault is someone who stays until 8 o'clock in the evening and yet they do half of the amount of work that you do. Why? They're not properly trained, they're incompetent, they should not have been recruited, they spend too much time on Facebook or TikTok, right? So don't judge your guilt based on the hours that you put. Base it on the output that you have given. Okay? That's question number. Am I question number five now? Can I get an exclamation mark? Am I question number five? Yes. Can I get a number five if I'm question number five now? I think no. Right? Yung pala, dinadagdagan ko na no? Oh, number six. Am I number six? I think I'm number five. Okay, number five. By the way, Tanjiro wants to be shown on camera. So, oh, come on, come on. Come. Sige na, let's go. Oh, ayaw na niya ulit. O, later na lang. I'm gonna show Tanjiro later on. Okay, let's answer question number six. Ooh, this is a reverse question. Oh, Tanjiro here's here na pala. Sorry, let me put him in for you. Okay. Oh, Tanjiro, say hello. Hello, everyone. He knows where the camera is, by the way. So every time he sees the camera, he's just like that. But he pretends to be a good dog. He isn't all the time. Oh, Tanjiro, come on. Tanjiro, by the way, is the one who chooses your questions. Mwah! Okay, sige na. Okay na. All right, we've garnered a lot of likes already from that. Could you give Tanjiro a like, by the way, if you guys can? We will appreciate that. Tanjiro is inspired from the Demon Slayer anime, which I'm a big fan of. By the way, sorry, I'm gonna digress. I'm sorry for this, and I know some people are not big fans of anime, but have you guys seen episode 1 of Jujutsu Kaisen season 2? It was okay, but you know what I liked? I liked the opening song sequence, even the closing. I think it's cool. It has this like laid back, very modern Tokyo vibe. That's just me. Okay, sorry, I'm digressing. Let me answer this question now. From Kim Amery on Facebook. Kim Amery is asking, I'll be starting a new role soon. I will be reporting to a manager who's younger than me. I don't have any issue with this, but this will be my first time. Any tips? Thank you. Kim, I like this question because we often get the reverse question in our career sessions. The question usually is, what do I do if my direct report is older than me from a leadership perspective? So, Kim, thank you for this question. I've never thought of this being raised. Two things. Number one, expect that while competency is not determined by age, there is still merit to experience and wisdom based on your age, which means from time to time, you will probably be able to spot some mistakes from your own manager, right? And you will always be able to conclude, kaya siya ganyan kasi bata pa. Kaya siya nagkamali kasi hindi pa niya na-experience to. So it's normal to have that from time to time. Can I get an exclamation mark, by the way, if you guys agree? From time to time, you will encounter those experiences. So I want you to have a level of patience because sometimes it can be demotivating for an older direct report. It sometimes can be a reason for you to think, why am I reporting to this person? I'm way better than this person, right? Why does the company tolerate someone just because they happen to be good in social media or TikTok? Why can't I just be the boss instead? You will have those moments of doubt. So whenever you doubt your own boss, have a tinge of belief that there must be a reason why your manager, who happens to be younger, was the one who was promoted or who was hired to become a manager. There must be a certain skill that none of you in your team possesses. There must be a certain trait or a certain talent that this person is amazingly good at. And so instead of looking at it from a perspective of, I want the person to fail, consider exploring what that strength is of your manager and try to siphon that best practice and strength and say, what can I do to get this type of talent so that I can make that as part of my identity as well? Okay. And by the way, take advantage of it. Younger managers are usually nicer. Younger managers are usually more patient. Younger managers are usually more polite, right? Can I get an exclamation mark if you guys agree? Yes? So take advantage of that. Okay, let's answer this question. Vincent is saying, nakakatuwa, dumadami daw ang ating mga viewers. Vincent, I actually regret this because during the pandemic, we were so active. We were getting 1,000, eyeballs. But I stopped for a while. So we're trying to gain back that number again. So thank you. Okay, question number 7 from Don Cardona on TikTok. How do you handle a boss who is feeling close? How should I tell her that I need space? Okay, let's first identify what could be the instances when your boss is too close. For example, they might be asking too many questions about your personal life, such as what did you do over the weekend? Or let's say when you raise a certain topic, they dig deeper by asking questions that are related to your house, perhaps to your car, or perhaps to what you have done during your vacation leave. There is a way to shut down someone gracefully, and yet the person understands that you want your space, but it doesn't offend the other person. So, one way of doing that is that when you answer with a smile, with a genuine smile, by the way, but answer also with shorter sentences. So, I'll give an example. Let's say the question was, John, oh, how was your vacation leave? You were out for 3 days in Boracay. I was looking at your uh, photos on Facebook. It seems like you were having fun. What did you do? So this one is a boss who's really feeling close. By the way, side note, in the first place, I don't think you should be adding your colleagues, including your boss, on social media. And I don't think that it's healthy that you're keeping them in the loop with all of your private and family related activities. That is my mantra in life. No matter how close I am with my boss, I don't want my boss to have an understanding of what I do outside work that might make my boss conclude or deduct the juice. I mean, that the reason why I was not able to go to the office early in the morning was because she thought that I was hanging out with my friends on a Sunday night. I don't want my boss to have those ideas. So my personal rule is that I will not keep them in my social media accounts. I probably will when I have left the company or when I have moved on to a different department. Okay? So I'm gonna add that already as tip number one, by the way. But tip number two is going back to my advice about keeping your sentences short. If my boss asks me about, John, how was your weekend? I saw your photos on Facebook, etc. I would say something like, oh, it was so much fun. Thank you again for letting me take that vacation leave. And then you end the sentence. Okay? If you add more things such as, oh, we went to this place, we add, etc., you're only inviting the person to add into the conversation. And therefore, you're giving them an idea that they can even break more information. They can break more walls. Okay? That's one. The number three, at the back of my mind, you can have a one-on-one heart-to-heart talk with your manager about it, but I don't think it's needed at this stage. I don't think you're at that stage when, unless you really think it's so invasive that it's becoming offensive already. But I don't think you should have that conversation. Uh, Sometimes I would just avoid my boss. What do I mean? I will find a way not to eat with my boss during lunch at the canteen the entire time. I would skip. Might not be the most convenient thing, by the way, but that I think sends a message to your boss that you don't want to spend too much time and share too much information as well. Okay. Oh, by the way, can I add this? This is a comment from Ima Concepcion on LinkedIn. This was regarding the question of Kim. Kim's question was about what do I do if my manager is younger than me? And I like this response from Kim. Ima says, the fact that your younger manager decided to hire you, he or she sees that you can complement whatever is lacking in their team, build that mutually beneficial relationship with a younger manager in the entire team. Thank you. You know, Ima, this comment, and thank you, by the way, for contributing. I love these kinds of responses because it means I'm not the only source of expertise here. You guys can also contribute. So I'm going to add something here. Even if your younger manager was not the one who hired you, they just happened to be by accident you were assigned to him or her. I agree that at the end of the day, if you can spot one thing that you think that your younger manager is not good at, compliment that person and support them along the way. So, for example, let's say your younger manager happens to be forgetful or they still don't know how to prioritize tasks. And let's say they forgot one of the meetings one day. You know what I would do if I was a direct report? I would say something like, "Oh, Anna, by the way, the meeting is about to happen in 5 minutes, and will you be able to come? If you're not, and I understand that you're busy right now, you're caught up with a lot of work. Would you like me to be the one to attend on your behalf?" You know, small gestures like this, your younger manager is gonna appreciate it, and they will likely remember it in the future. These are the things that will send a message that I got your back. I'm here to support you. I am not insecure that you're younger. I'm simply here because I want to contribute to the team. Okay? Thank you, Ima, for that thought. That was question number seven, by the way. So I got three more questions before I end the first half and before we give away tickets to our upcoming workshops at the SMX Convention Center. Okay. Let's answer questions on TikTok. Angela Belen, this is question number eight. Only because out of curiosity, have you ever heard of health and safety being part of HR? Um, Usually it's part of the legal, compliance, and logistics and administrative team. I will only say that the reason why it's part of HR perhaps is because it's a small company. And for that reason, they try to lump in employee welfare as part of safety, which isn't a bad thing. I also think that makes sense. Okay. By the way, just to enrich that comment, What is the downside of working with a small company? The upside, by the way, as you may all know, is that it's easy to be able to manage relationships because there are only a few people to talk to and a few people to manage. The downside, I think, is that smaller companies usually tend to lump multiple roles and functions with the same people. And usually is the reason why people get overworked and they get burned out. Can I get an exclamation mark if you guys agree? I mean, I'll give you an example. My company is small. I only have 5 core people, and then the rest are consultants or freelancers. And because we are a small company, I'm the business owner, but I'm also the HR, which means if I need to give health insurance to my employees, I have to be the one to decide and identify what health insurance provider will I get. I just need to raise that because I think there was a question last Monday from someone. Should I, which is a better company to join? A multinational company, a startup company, or a family-owned business, etc. Depends on your lifestyle. I will say, however, that startups and smaller companies usually are, despite their agility, that there is not much bureaucracy, meaning not much paperwork, things get approved easily. The problem is resources are very scarce in terms of time and manpower. So manage that part. Okay, question number 8 from Facebook from Iris Macaranas. John, how do you deal with a boss with favoritism and you happen to be not the favorite employee? Okay, I'm going to look at the bright side of a boss who has a favorite, and I want you to look at the perspective why bosses have favorites. Okay? Bosses will have favorites likely because that person is doing something that they like. Can I get an exclamation mark? And that's not always bad. What do I mean? If one of my employees is the one who's bringing in the most amount of sales, they're very reliable, they send the fastest emails, they're very hardworking, they're also very smart. Why should I stop my emotions and my bias to liking this person? It's natural to like this person. And therefore, it's natural for this person to be my favorite. Why am I saying this? Because when you notice that someone else is a favorite in the company, you might want to ask yourself first, what is it that they're doing so good that I think I can emulate or also do so that I become likable in the organization? It also helps you take away the envy. It makes you more objective into thinking that this person is not at fault for being the favorite. It's simply because they're doing the right things. Now, it's a different story altogether if the manager has favorites and the basis is not merit. Meaning, maybe there's a romantic affair. Maybe I've seen this happen when I was younger. Si boss may utang kay employee, a big amount of money. She owes the employee a big amount of money. And for that reason, she's very nice to this employee because she wants to keep on borrowing money from this employee. That could be another reason for that. If the reasons for favoritism has gone to a point where you think that it is affecting the morale of the team and that people are not being properly treated, then that's when I think you should flag it. Flag it to your boss, have a one-on-one heart-to-heart talk if you can, because that's not the easiest thing to do, I understand. Or number two, if you want a neutral arbiter, I recommend that you first discuss this with someone in your team that you can trust. Ask the question and see if your perspective is correct. If you have validated that the rest of the other team members are feeling the same bad way, you can now call HR and raise it because this is something that might need intervention. Okay? Ooh, Kate De Vera from TikTok. This is question number 9. How do you connect with managers who are results driven but not people oriented? Okay, you're not gonna like my answer with this one, but I am a believer of Gary Chapman's language of love, in which when we love people, we have to understand their expectations of how they should be loved. So, what are the languages of love? Love languages: words of affirmation, service, time, physical touch, and gifts. This type of manager who is results driven, the love language of this manager is results. Can I get a letter R if you agree? So, in order to be noticed and in order for this manager to like you have to stand out. You have to be cut above the rest by doing something that they expect. And from there, the moment they've noticed you and say, "Ah, John, good job. John, I've noticed you've done X, Y, and Z." That's when you can inch your way up. Because here's my theory. Here's my theory. If a manager is very results driven, they will end up taking good care of you. If this is a really good manager, the rest is going to follow. Can I get an exclamation mark if you agree? Don't get me wrong. I think there's going to be a small proportion of manager who are so results driven that they don't care about their people being burned out. I agree, they do exist. But I think a big chunk of managers are very aware that in order to extract more output from people, they also need to take good care of them. Proper compensation, proper recognition, proper rest, etc. Okay? If your manager really is oblivious to the fact that you need sleep, you need rest, that's when I will intervene and have a heart to heart talk with my manager. But of course, remember this: the only time that you have a credibility to talk to your manager and ask for these things is because you have also produced the results. Okay? Use that as your leverage, use that as your clincher in that conversation. Okay, question number 10. Let's ask this before we go for our prize. We're going to give away tickets to our upcoming workshops at the SMX Convention Center. Okay, I like this question from Facebook, from Kian Kodiamat. His question is being competitive towards other coworkers good or a bad thing? It can be both. It's always good as long as it's done in a healthy manner with a good amount of moderation. It's bad if it's making other people feel uh, bad about themselves. What do I mean? You know, when I was working in a pharmaceutical company, everyone in my team was so competitive that during sales conference, and we have to talk to med reps, for example, we will keep to ourselves our gimmicks on how to engage the sales force. We will keep to ourselves the PowerPoint slides. We will keep to ourselves that we will have a special guest, a special motivational speaker, and all these things. And that increased everyone's excitement that we want to outdo each other. That also raised the bar and the quality in the marketing team. So I think that's a good definition of competition. The bad type of competition is you have a good set of information that you think will benefit the rest of the team, but you don't share it with the team because you want to be the only one recognized for it. And that if only you share that spreadsheet containing amazing numbers and statistics to your team, it would have made the team stronger. That's the unhealthy competition I want you to avoid. Okay? And remember, when someone is better than you, don't just be competitive. Be inspired. Can I get a letter I? Be inspired. What do I mean? Be inspired because when you see someone who's way better than you, the person is proving to you that something else can be better. You know, when I see someone who's way better than me, I will tell myself, gosh, I want to become like you. Thank you for proving to me that I can be way better than what I am today. Versus having that mindset we're in, yeah, magaling siya, pero alam mo, feeling ko chamba lang yan eh. Magaling siya, pero feeling ko, may tumulong sa kanya eh. You can have that crab mentality all you want, but if this person has been doing it day in and day out, that's not luck anymore. That's consistency based on someone's competency. So don't feel bad. Feel inspired, right? Feel inspired that now there is a new benchmark to beat. And if you get to beat that benchmark, you can be the best of the best and be excited again that there is another person you can be better with. I'll give an example again. And this is why I am so in love with anime? Can I get the letter A? Who here watches anime? You know why I like anime, especially the gritty type of anime. Anime that's the theme of the anime is usually competition. Competition like Haikyuu, uh, My Hero Academia, Jujutsu Kaisen, Food Wars. If you notice, all of the protagonists, whenever they see someone better than they are, they don't get competitive to a point that they become envious or that they become doubtful. Rather, they become inspired. So the typical reaction of the protagonist in an anime is, "Whoa, whoa, he's so good! Whoa, I can be like that! Whoa, there's another way for me to become like that." That's always the reaction. Yes, right? I want you to have that mindset when it comes to competition with people. Okay? So that ends our question number 10. We're halfway through. Let's open the floor now for some prizes. As usual, we're going to give away tickets to our upcoming 3-hour workshop. We have a workshop on leadership in time of hybrid work era, another workshop on social media marketing, another workshop on boosting your confidence and public speaking, another workshop on email etiquette and business writing. These are all going to be conducted on July 28th and 29. 4 workshops. Each ticket is 1,799 pesos. We're going to give away tickets to our participants. Here's the catch because I'm feeling good tonight. You all get to bring a plus one if you win the tickets. If you don't win, that's fine. And this is the reason why I'm promoting the workshop. You can buy tickets in our website at johnyabut.com. Okay. If you're watching this on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, do you see that above? This one? So that is the website link for you to be able to register and get tickets. I'm going to be asking a question. All you need to do is to get the correct answer. If you're the first one with the fastest fingers, then you're going to get the ticket. Plus, I'm going to remind you about the requirement. The only eligible folks who can join this contest are those who have shared this on their page. Okay? You have to share this on your page. That means we have to get that label beside your name because we get to see that. We get to know who has shared and who has not shared. Okay? Here's a caveat, by the way. If you happen to be outside the Philippines, and I'm sorry for that because I understand we have some viewers from India, Dubai, and Malaysia as well right now. Unfortunately, this is only eligible for folks in Metro Manila. Okay? Same thing as for Cebu. We're going to be announcing our workshop soon. We're going to be doing for Cebu and Davao this coming August. Okay, so what is the theme for tonight's trivia question? Angel is asking, by the way, is there a certificate provided? Of course. All our workshops, whether it's conducted at the SMX Convention Center or our online courses, which you can also take in our website, johnyabut.com, they all have certificates. Okay? So, the category for tonight's trivia question is, can I do art? Can I get the letter A? Is art okay? I hope art is okay. Yes. Okay. Art. So my question is this. Can I just specify if what type of art is it going to be? Is it about painting, music, dancing, etc.? Oh, sige. Ito na lang. Okay. Tell me, you guys are ready for this? I think you'll be able to answer this. Give me an example of a form of art that does not involve a ball or a weapon or a tool that is considered as a sport in the Olympics. Okay? Identify, and there are many answers to this, by the way. Identify a certain form of art that is featured in the Olympics as a medal sport, but it doesn't involve a ball, a tool, a weapon, etc. No tool ha, so meaning chess is not part of it. Okay? It doesn't also involve any combative stance. So all the taekwondo, karate, sorry guys, that's not part of the answer. Okay. Uh, Gymnastics can't be because that includes a tool. Tell me your answers, guys. Swimming can't be because that involves your, swimming pool, etc. All these things. It's a form of art. Okay. Is my question difficult for tonight? By the way, I'll give you a clue. Filipinos are so good at this. Filipinos are so good at this. Okay, there are a lot of answers, by the way. I can't take fencing nor chess because they involve tools. Nako. Ayan. Okay, I think I'm getting it. Okay. I may not be able to get two correct winners or answers. So if there's only one winner, then I will only take one winner per platform. Okay. One correct answer is dance sport, which includes, for example, ballroom dancing. Diba? And Filipinos are so good at that. So I'm going to call out first my winners on Facebook. Reynard Sanarte is my first winner. Congratulations. Another one is Gloria Gonzalez. Congratulations. Okay, also dance sport. Another one uh, from Facebook. The name is Drin Burr. Congratulations. Ballroom dancing. Okay. Ayan. I think I will take this one. Not swimming per se, but synchronization swimming. I'll also take that. That's Kimberly JY. Congratulations. Yan. Okay. And then, okay, sige. I'll take this answer. I'll take figure skating also. It has a pair of shoe, but it's not used as a weapon. Okay. So, and neither is it a ball. Okay. So Juno Domingo, congratulations. I'll also give you a prize. You get tickets to all of the 4 workshops a while ago. I think someone also mentioned figure skating, no? I think that was someone on YouTube. Am I right ba? Let me just call that out. Ayan, meron. Janaisa Baril. Congratulations as well. Okay, how about on TikTok? Let me call out your name. Ang dami nyo eh. Ang daming sumagot ng dance sports on TikTok. Okay, let me call out now. So, winner, sorry Facebook, I know that my arm is getting into the way. Okay, Roy Mill on TikTok. Congratulations, your answer is dance sport. Another one is... Can I use e-games? Pwede, no? Janel Suprales 64. Congratulations. I think I'll take that answer as well. E-games should be fine. And then I'm gonna give 5 winners on TikTok. Next one, Poetry Josh Reyes is not yet part of the Olympics, no? Unfortunately. Akiko 14, ballroom dancing. Congratulations. And then Jimmy Zalba 1, also dance sport. Congratulations. Anna letter D as in e-games, also correct. Okay? So I think that's going to be all of my winners. All 5 of you. Congratulations. How do you claim your prize? Wait lang. Ayan na naman yung aking... Hindi na gumagana ang aking, how do you call this? Aking tripod. How do you claim your prize? You can send me a private message or a DM, please. And then we're going to give you instructions on how to claim your prize because we need to get your email address. Could you please give me an exclamation mark? Let's congratulate all the winners for tonight. Yes. Yan, kailangan ko lang ayusin. Yan, okay. I think I got it now. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Guys, I don't think I'll be able to answer 10 questions. Hindi ko mabibreak ang aking promise na 20 questions for tonight. So, let's cover 5 questions for the second half of our conversation. Again, if you missed out the topic for tonight, it's about how close should you be with your manager? How close should you be with your colleagues at work? Should you be intimate? Should you, draw a professional line, etc.? Let me answer this question from Luis Perez on TikTok. Question is, I get so anxious in meetings that I don't speak at all. Di ako nagasalita. What should I do? I'm not sure if this was the same question raised before, Luis. But whenever I enter a meeting room, whether it's on Zoom or let's say an on-site meeting, I when I usually need to break the ice, I will talk about something that I am most comfortable with. May baon lagi akong topic. So for example, if I'm the one presiding the meeting, before I start the agenda, I will ask questions like, "Team, how was your weekend? Could you please tell me what was the one thing that you did during the weekend?" That usually breaks the ice. It also makes you feel that you're vulnerable. It also makes you feel that you're a person that isn't just about work. It also makes other people feel that their guards are going to go lower because someone's asking about how their weekend was. Sometimes it can be about food. Kunyari, the meeting is after lunch. You know what's the easiest thing to ask? Team, what did you have for lunch? And one of the most amazing things to talk about is food. Usually, when these conversations happen, you can talk about the canteen food. And then it brings up, it opens a box of questions about, oh, the canteen is really good, no? They always have good pasta. Pero yung kanilang adobo needs improvement. And usually when you talk about these things, you don't become intimidated anymore with the people around you because you can talk about something that all makes you feel that you are human. Can I get an exclamation mark if you agree? Yes? Okay. Stacy is asking on TikTok, how do I deal with a coworker who acts like they're the boss, but we are of the same level? I'll give you instances that this can happen to you. You are working on your PowerPoint, and then they suddenly looked at your slides and they're giving you comments about it without you requesting for some opinions. You know what I would do? I'd say something like, Joanna, thank you for the comments. Right? And then let's say, for example, Joanna suggested something about your slides that you don't like to do. You're not feeling the suggestion. So say something like, Joanna, thank you for the comments. I'll keep that in mind. You know what does that what that means? It implies that noted on your suggestion, but I don't think I'm gonna take up with that suggestion. I have other ideas that I wanna pursue instead. One more example. If let's say this bossy colleague is asking you to do things that are outside your work scope, meaning they're bullying you to do things that they're supposed to be the one doing. Say something like, okay, noted on this, but does our boss know about this? Does Mark, our boss, have been informed about this? Because I want him to know that this is going to be part of my workload because I want him to have visibility that I'm also working on X, Y, and Z on top of the things that he wants me to do. Why is it important? It sends a message to this bullying colleague that someone is going to find out if you're using me as someone who will do your work. So it's implying to them that I'm going to tell this to our boss. And if he's going to find out, you'll be in great hot water if that's the case. The trick to someone who bullies you because they just happen to be senior or even with the same position is to not let it slip the moment the situation happens. Because the more you let it slip, the more it empowers them to think that they can keep on doing this again and again. Okay? Sven on TikTok, thank you for your gift, by the way. Juno Domingo, question number 3. Question, how do you disagree? Juno is from Facebook. How do you disagree with other people's opinions without sounding offensive and still professional? Usually, when we decline, our template is I don't like, or that's bad, I hate it, or that's not good enough. We use a negative word. And sometimes we add expressions of disgust, expressions of exhaustion or disappointment like, nagawa na namin yan. Diba? So that can be demotivating for some people. It can also feel that someone's being offended. Okay? So instead of using that template, I want you to consider the template appreciate and then affirm. I'm going to repeat appreciate and then affirm. Sorry, guys. Sorry di pa nakakatulog ng matino. Appreciate and then decline. I'm gonna repeat. Appreciate and then decline or reject. What do I mean? Say something like, thank you for that information. However, and then you challenge the person's idea. Can I get an exclamation mark? Can we relate to that? Yes? I'll give you one example. Someone's idea is not good enough, or you think that someone's idea is stupid. Okay? Say something like, okay, John, I'm going to park that idea. Can I ask if there are other thoughts from other members of the team first? That's another way of declining it. Okay? You can also say something like, Maria, I understand where you're coming from. I understand why you said that, but, and then you challenge the person's idea. Okay? Can I get an exclamation mark if you appreciate? The goal is that you decline and reject the idea, not the identity. Those two things are different. The moment you make it look like you're rejecting someone's identity, the more the person will make it feel that it's personal. Are you rejecting my idea because you don't like me? Because I have a different religion? Because I just happen to be not part of your circle? Is it because I'm an outsider? People will think that way. So your choice of words will help them appreciate that this is nothing personal. I understand why you said that, but the idea is not good enough. Okay? Okay. Question number 4. Ako si Frisco Loco on TikTok. Oh, I like this question, by the way. He's asking, how do you react if your boss told you that you are stupid? First, I can understand why you will feel that that is not something that should be said. It's not normal to call someone stupid. It usually requires a deeper level of mistake or something that is so basic that you can't even grasp for you to be called as stupid. If my boss calls me that, I will call out two things. Number one, I will tell my boss, boss, I understand that you didn't like something that I did, but may I request that you don't call me stupid because I think that is not how I want to be treated. And that is also not how I treat other people in my family or in my line of work. Okay? So say that. Number two, hold your boss accountable. And when he calls you stupid, say something like, boss, may I ask what made you use that word? Because it's not something that I will use as my first adjective for someone, right? May I ask how bad was it that you think that I need to be called stupid? And moving forward, can I ask what should have I done so that I can avoid this mistake from happening again? Okay? Don't let it slip away. Hold your boss accountable for it. Okay? Question number 4. Ooh, I like this from Facebook. PJ is asking on Facebook, what if your ideas are great, but your boss says, kung ano-anong iniisip mo, will this help? Or in English, you're thinking of too many things, will this crazy idea even help us? Okay? Number 1, PJ, a boss will always doubt your ideas if you haven't yet shown proof of consistency with your work. So usually, ideas are more acceptable, they're more palatable, they're more easy to digest if you have shown in the past that you've been doing well. So acceptability comes with credibility. So sometimes you have to consider the fact that if maybe you haven't yet proven yourself, people will not easily buy your ideas. And you should not be taking that personally. That is a normal reaction of most people because people are after time. Why should I waste my time or spend my time on something that I think is not going to be worth it? Okay, that's one. Number 2, when you share an idea, take the time to explain why. Why are you thinking of this idea more than anything else? So, have you spent 3 or 5 minutes explaining the mechanics of your idea and explaining and connecting that from letter A, we're going to end up with letter B. If you're not able to prove these things, your boss will think that your ideas are crazy in the first place. And I can't blame him if he thinks that way. Okay? Question number 5. Um, Someone was asking on Facebook, same question TikTok. I am too close with my boss. How can I build a gap between us? May I recommend, just so I don't repeat myself, this video is going to be recorded anyway. It's on Facebook. It's an archive. At the start of the conversation, we were able to answer this a while ago. So please check that out. Okay, let's answer this one. Can I call this my um, let's cover this last question. I like this. From Red Lozada on Facebook. John, do you believe in the saying that if you cannot beat them, join them? Even if it means playing politics, playing favoritism, or bootlicking to the bosses. O sige, before I answer this question, can I throw this question to the participants? Okay? Give me a letter Y if your answer is yes. If I cannot be promoted using the actual route of merit, I'm going to follow what needs to be done. I'm going to play politics. I'm going to be favorite. I'm going to kiss ass to my boss, for example. Can I get a letter Y? I'm not going to be judging. Okay, I'm not going to be judging. Just give me an answer. Give me a letter N. If your answer is no, no matter what happens, I will stick to my ethics. I will stick to what it takes. Okay? So I'm looking at the response of people now. Interesting. We got a good mix. Some people are saying why, some people are saying no. Okay? I'm not going to be judging. What's my take, however? Number one, take note that ethics is a subjective term also for certain people. Ethics for some people can be this high, ethics for some people can be this low. Don't get me wrong. Again, I think that there are universal ethics. For example, it is non-negotiable for my standards of ethic to lie, to talk bad about other people, to inflate and to exaggerate figures and numbers, if that will mean my promotion, because I will not be able to sleep at night. Okay? I will not be able to sleep at night, and I don't think I deserve it. I think it's an empty victory if that is the case. So those are non-negotiables for me. However, for some people, saying hi more often, laughing at your boss's jokes even if it's not funny, or doing the extra mile volunteering certain tasks or projects that your boss can't do. For some people, it's bootlicking. For some people's perspective, it's doing the extra mile. So therefore, if you look at the standards, people perceive it differently. My take is that as long as you are not hurting anyone, as long as you are playing it fair, meaning you are not holding a certain information that only you found out in an illegitimate way and you're taking advantage of that information, meaning you're blackmailing someone, for example, as long as you're not doing these things, whatever you're doing to be able to get the job done and to be able to be promoted should be fine. Okay? That's my take. And that I think applies regardless of what your religion are, what your religion is, and even if you don't have a religion. I think so many ethical standards are universal anyway. I'm saying that because I think some people have a different definition of bootlicking. Some people have a different definition of politics. Okay? For example, is attending a town hall meeting and deliberately asking a question that you already know the answer to, and yet you still prefer to ask it in a town hall because you know that there will be 1,000 people who will be watching you and taking notice of you, and therefore that's politicizing because you're putting your best self forward. Is that a bad thing? I don't think so. First and foremost, even if you already know the answer, there's still benefit to it. And that is, you will finally get perspectives from other people that you would not have been able to ask have you not been in this town hall meeting. So it's fine. Even if your deliberate reason is because you want to be noticed, that's also fine. Why? Because you're trying to take advantage of an opportunity that if this company is too big and no one will be able to hear my voice, listen to how I speak, understand how I'm eloquent, and understand how I am concerned that this company needs to be improved, I will take the stage. That is called visibility. That is called the ability to play your cards in a large organization. Okay? People will call it as politics. I call it as improving your visibility, improving your networking, for example. And that's fine. People think that if you're, those kinds of meetings we're in, the meeting has not yet started. And then you try to make a small talk to the person beside you because the meeting has not yet started. And so you start talking about, hey, so what department are you from? Oh, I'm from this department. Can I ask, can I get a piece of advice? You already know the answer, but you're still asking for a piece of advice because you know that it makes the other person feel good if they're asked a piece of advice. That's part of networking. At the same time, you also recognize that even if you know the answer, this person might change your perspective because they might have a different answer that might change your perspective. So you still ask the question. For some people, they call it as politicking. I call it as networking. And that's also fine. If that is your definition of joining the crowd, go for it. Okay? I'd go for that. At the end of the day, the world is a stage. And it's all about making people in the audience move their heads and necks so that they can see you on stage despite so many things happening on the stage. Okay? Someone asks you to create a spreadsheet, a report, collecting the database of people's names and mobile numbers. But you realized that the email address is also important and you have time. So you said to yourself, hey, why not? I'll create an extra column. Even if it's not being asked, I'll do this. It will make them happy. It will make them excited. Okay? Some people think it's bootlicking because it's not being asked, but you took the extra mile. I don't think so. That's going above what's expected. I'd go for that route. But yes, if it's all about, you know, what is bootlicking that I think is a red flag? It's when I'll give an example. Let's say your manager created a commercial, a TV commercial, and you were asked your opinion about it. And you think it's ugly. You think there's something wrong about that TV commercial. You know what's gonna be wrong? Pretending that you like it and not giving any point of feedback or criticism. That I think is a red flag. That is the type of bootlicking that I will never do. There is a way to say it and say something like, I like X, Y, and Z, but I also think that we can do something about A, B, and C. I'm concerned that the audience might think about the TV commercial as one, two, and three. You can also do that. Okay. So I think to summarize, try to do an inventory of your ethical standards. Count which ethics are going to hurt people, gives you undue, unfair advantage that you ought to be sharing with others, and consider also the sustainability of relationships with other people. Okay? If you think you're breaking those things, then I think you're playing it wrong. Okay? I think we're good for tonight. Let's try to go online tomorrow. I think I can go for another session tomorrow night. Again, same time at 9 p.m. If it's your first time to join us and nabitin kayo, we have our podcast on Spotify. It's called From Grit to Great. We talk about career management. We talk about leadership. We hope you give us a listen. We're now on season 2. Our best-selling books, which unfortunately I forgot to bring here on my table, are available in National Bookstore and Fully Booked. We have 4 books right now. All are bestsellers. When I say bestseller, they are certified bestseller by National Bookstore based on the number of copies sold. Our books are also translated in Vietnamese. You can get copies of them in Saigon Bookstore. You can get copies in Malaysia and Singapore in Kinokuniya and MPH. If you happen to be in Dubai or Abu Dhabi, we're also available in Magrudy's bookstore. And if you'd like to see us in the flesh, workshops on leadership, public speaking, etc., you can catch us on July 28 and 29 at the SMX Convention Center. Tanjiro, this is not food. Please do not eat my microphone. See, he's trying to eat my mic. You can catch us on our website, jonathanyabut.com. Okay? I'll see you guys soon. Thank you for joining us. Tomorrow, we'll try to go live 9 p.m. again for the same session. We'll talk about a career topic. We'll see if it's going to be about maybe about green flags if you're working for a great company. I think it's going to be a good topic for tomorrow night. Okay? Thank you guys. Thanks for listening. Bye.